Hi and welcome to episode 9 of the Flatback 4 podcast with me, your host Andy McGuire, joining us this week on the Bundesliga review / Premier League return. Yes. Scott Eaglen in Leeds and Deemi. He's back with us, the man of mystery, international man of mystery. Right. So, and the reason why I say because we usually do a Bundesliga review. That's what we're going to be doing when all the leagues return. We've today had an announcement on the 17th of June. Premier League returns. What do we think, boys?
It's excellent, isn't it? Finally, we get back to some normal service at last. What have we got now? 2 weeks to wait. A week on Wednesday. Is it 2 weeks on Wednesday? Is it a week on Wednesday?
It's just under 3 weeks, isn't it? They've got. Yeah. So
it's weird that they've started on a Wednesday, though, isn't it? You know, they're starting midweek, aren't they?
What they've done is the first 2 games midweek are the ones that have got games in hand. So it's them games to get everybody at the level games.
Very good.
Now, they're saying it's going to take about 6 weeks. We said originally, didn't we? It wouldn't take that long to finish the 10 remaining games. We even thought maybe 4 weeks.
We said about 6 weeks, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. So, obviously that's brilliant. And we're not sure now what is going to happen with Champions League. I think that'll be gone. I think you can forget about the Cup and Champions League. But the fact that we're getting these Premier League games done, I think is absolutely vital for football. We've still had no announcement from the Championship as yet. But yeah, I mean, 3 weeks until we crack on again. That means that the teams will be going back into full contact training. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, for when it starts? Because we've seen the Bundesliga. There's been a lot of goals. What do you reckon, Deemi? Do you think there's going to be a bit of a goal fest? I'm going to do both teams to score.
Yeah, I think you both teams to score. You're over 2.5 goals will be. But for first few games, will be definitely a banker, won't it? People won't want to get. They won't do it on purpose, but self-consciously, it'll just happen, won't it? Without knowing, you see. So, but yeah, they won't want to get too close defending, I suppose. But we need to get the season finished at the end of the day, don't we? Everybody wants it, so it needs must really.
Yeah, Arsenal Man City, isn't it? The first game, because of course that was going to be the game, and Arteta obviously got coronavirus, and that was when basically the week of football just kind of took over. I mean, that game could have goals written all over it. It's an unbelievable game to come back to, and it's a weird one, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be a completely different season. You know, all the players that have been out injured are now coming back. You've got players like David Luiz, that Arsenal game, who I think's been told that he can leave at end of season. Now he's going to have that in the back of his mind. It's just going to be a completely different season. There might be a few upsets, particularly in that game. You know, Arsenal are coming in fresh. Man City haven't really got much to play for in terms of title race. So I think you probably will see a lot of upsets. It'll be interesting for me though, to see once the title wrapped up in probably week 2. What the intensity of the games are going to be from week 2 to week 6 in the top half. Is there really going to be that much from Man City, from a Liverpool? I think the onus then will be on the Champions League places, won't it? Well, they've got the tribunal, haven't they? They've moved it, I think, to June or July now, Man City. I think they've got to go back to Switzerland and discuss all that. I mean, they've got Champions League and whatnot, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, you're right about the intensity, because if you are middle of the table and you're quite secure, you might see a bit of exhibition football. When it's a 9th and 10th place, it's going to be interesting how intense they go into it.
There's going to be so many different elements of interest around football over the next few weeks. You're going to be I think you're going to see a lot of records. I think one of them actually is going to be a record audience for a live Premier League game. Because they're going to be on BBC. Yeah. You're probably going to have a record audience for like Burnley v Brighton. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
it's true.
It's BBC. It's just going to be a weird feeling over the next few weeks, and yeah, it'll be really interesting.
It's going to be weird, isn't it, seeing football like Premier League on the BBC live? I can't really get my head around it. It's a bit weird, really, because you used to see an FA Cup and whatnot, but there might be 12 o'clock to 4, 6, and 8, or what? It's something ridiculous rot like that.
They're even doing a 7 o'clock game on a Sunday as well, which is going to be a bit surreal. 7 p.m. on a Sunday. So yeah, it's going to be weird, these kickoffs. I'm just happy it's going to be a feast of football, isn't it? Every single day, pretty much.
Deemi, what about stadiums? We haven't obviously had an announcement yet. We discussed, I think, on one of our earliest ones about neutral stadiums. We haven't had anything like that yet. Do you think? I don't know. What do you think they're going to do?
I think most games will be at their own stage. I think the exception is maybe first couple of Liverpool games, because obviously if they win title, they're going to get crowds outside. It's just going to happen, regardless of what you think. So I don't know how they're going to do it, or if they can discriminate that way against one club. But I just think if there was going to be a neutral venue, it would be for Liverpool games to start off with. Personally. Do you think,
Deemi, do you think that if Liverpool would have won the title before lockdown, we'd have had a Premier League season?
Yes, just because of relegation part of it. Because it's because obviously you've got teams potentially coming up from Championship, and they've played a lot of their season. So I think the relegation, the more relegation, I do think.
Just touching on that, actually, you're thinking about. Kind of contradicts what I was saying about where there's going to be no intensity. Actually, the difference between finishing like 7th and 8th is probably about 2 or 3 million in it in terms of prize money. Yeah. So actually, there'll still be plenty to play for, but I'd still imagine towards the back end of the season the intensity might drop a little bit.
Well, I mean the first game before the Arsenal game, I think they're actually doing Villa Sheffield United, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think that's the first game. So I mean, both teams have got something to play for, haven't they? So I think that could be a very good game as well.
If you had to now, do you think Villa might get out of it, or do you think they're going to get sucked down? Because who did I hear the other day? Someone on TalkSport, or it might have actually been Harry Redknapp. I think he might have said I think it was Harry Redknapp. He said that if Villa had anything about them, they'd say to John Terry, "Get yourself fit, and we can sign you on. And if we need you for them last few games." And it was a bit of a shout because they've been awful at the back. They've been absolutely terrible.
100%.
Is John McGinn? Is he back? I think he should be back. I think a lot of injuries. He should be fresh. I mean, he's been fantastic for them. And when he got injured, that was them in a bit of crisis, and they really dipped off. But the John Terry thing was a bit of a shout from Harry.
That's a massive shout, actually, isn't it? That is a massive shout. Thinking about that,
he's got to be better than what they've got. Honestly, in defence, he's better than what they've got even now.
Honestly,
now.
When I first heard that come out of your mouth, Andy, I thought, "What are you on about?" But actually thinking about it, if you look at their defence at the minute, I mean, everybody bangs on about Tyrone Mings. I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced.
No, I'm not convinced at the minute. And the back four.
He's got the tools.
Yeah.
He has got the potential.
Yeah, absolutely. But he just looks like he's got a mistake in him, and so the rest of that back four, to be honest. John Terry would fit in great in a flat back four.
Yeah. There you go. We'll get him on. Well, hey, we've had Ian Dowie.
And now we're announcing our next guest next week.
I mean, it is a bit of a shout. I mean, it's hard really down there because Norwich obviously got the win, didn't they, just before lockdown? But I can't see them.
No,
they're gone.
I think they're gone.
They relied too much on Pookie. They relied too much on Pookie.
Yeah, true. That's a bit of a shout, actually. Say if Norwich have gone, do anyone take a shout on Pookie next year?
Deemi, I'll let you answer that.
Maybe one of the teams coming up. Maybe
I think he's good enough.
Lower half.
Has he done enough though? Has he done enough this season in second half?
What was his? How many has he scored in total? Is he in double figures?
I think he's double figures, isn't he?
I think he probably got double figures like before Christmas or something, or before January.
I think if you get double figures for a team at bottom of the league, you're definitely worth a shout.
What is he? 29,
I agree.
30, though?
Yeah,
no, but
best free transfer ever wanted him. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be worth a shot. I would just throw in devil's advocate, really, because even though they've been quite poor, in some stages they've played all right, and they've just got a lot of, for me, littered Championship players that if they rally, they'll be okay. But maybe if, they'd have stayed up next year, they'd go down. It's like one of them. But I just thought maybe if someone might take a chance on Pookie, because like you said, Deemi,
you can see him at Burnley or Brighton or something like that if they stay. Team like that.
Let's say now then, who's the three to go down, and we'll remember this. Who's the three to go down, Andy?
I think
write this down.
I think Bournemouth are going to get pulled right. I've been really disappointed with them, and actually Eddie Howe missed a trick a couple of years ago for me. I thought he'd done his time. And I think now he's done a bit of a Wenger, but the opposite side of the table. I think he really got them playing some good stuff, and they were doing well, and they finished quite high. And then maybe that Everton move that he could have gone for, because I know that there were talks, weren't there? And actually, no, there were big talks there. from when I was working in Liverpool. Someone said that Eddie Howe apparently was in Liverpool. Now, it's all hearsay, you don't know. But, you know, if he'd have made that move maybe 18 months ago. But I think Norwich, Bournemouth. Who else is down there? We've got Villa. You know, I think Villa are going to go.
So they're the bottom three at the minute, them three.
I think they're going to go. Yeah, I do. I think the rest maybe might have enough, but Bournemouth for me have not been good enough. And I just, as a club, I just kind of think they're a bit of a.
For me, I actually think
there's bigger clubs.
I actually think the bottom three to go down are probably going to be the three. I don't know what you think about this, Deemi, but I think they will be the bottom three who probably rely most on a crowd. I'm thinking probably Norwich are gone, but they do rely a lot on their home crowd as well as goal music. But I think Villa, another one, and actually I think the third one could actually be West Ham.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, West Ham, I mean, yeah. They might just
see
have
what,
enough in the tank.
I can see why, but I think this break might have done them good.
I agree. And they've got a good manager.
That's what I think. I think he might have a bit of a time now with them before we start. I think three for me: Norwich, Villa, and Watford. I think Watford are going to get sucked back in because Troy Deeney's not going to be there.
Well, no, hasn't he said though now today that they've spoken to him and said that he's going to be safe, and I think he's lighting back to the fact that I think they've promised him that, you know, the tests will be there, you won't have to go on without, you know, your clothes will be off, you won't have to enter your house with any sort of Watford, which sounds really bizarre to say, but that's what 2020 is, you know. But you'll be able to go home and feel quite safe. Apparently they've said it's the safest working.
Fair enough then. I just thought if he wasn't there, because I hadn't heard anything yet about that, but I thought if he wasn't there, I thought they would drop. But if he's going to be there, I think they'll stay up then in that case. My third team will be, I'm going to go Brighton. I'm going to go Brighton because their manager, what is it Graham Potter, isn't it? Potter, isn't it? He's got no Premier League experience, and this
he's never been in a relegation battle, really.
He's never been like in this kind of thing.
He's got some good football, though.
Yeah, they were a fan of that, weren't they? The fans and that. I think that's why they got to keep Chris Hughton, wasn't it? You know, he kept them up, but then they wanted something more, didn't they? And I think they got that early days with Graham Potter. But I guess playing good football only gets you so far. You need the players to back it up, and I don't think he does.
I think this is the crunch time as well, isn't it? This is going to be the last 6 weeks or whatever. And it's like where it really matters. Can he do it? And I think he'll. If Deany plays for Watford, then they'll stay up and he'll be Brighton instead.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Brighton they have been another team that, I mean, again, like we were saying about relying on crowds, they've been dreadful all season. They've won 3-4 all season. So I mean. Yeah, I don't know. By the way, guys, it's a fantastic Bundesliga review show.
Yeah, should we talk about Bundesliga now?
He's gone great deep into it, but we are going to go on to Bundesliga. We are, but it was huge news because there were reports yesterday about the Premier League, and then today they obviously announced it, and apparently it was completely, you know, everyone was all in and all favour, which is, you know, quite. But
it's because of the Bundesliga why we're starting up again, isn't it? Really.
I agree. Well, you said Deemi. To be honest, you said we'll all sit back, we'll watch what the Germans do, and we'll do it. You know.
Yeah.
Episode 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've seen how well it's gone. We've seen how well it's gone. I mean, it's not perfect, it's not ideal, but it's better than what France and Holland have done.
It's not football,
but, isn't it? Obviously, as we're recording this, Boris has just released the news that Sixers are allowed to now go to different households as well. I mean, things are starting to loosen. Whether we think it's right or not, we can only follow what government guidelines are saying to us. We're not sure about grassroots football yet. I know we're all dying to play, but things seem to be opening up. There's still no like hairdressers and stuff like that. I mean, it's a bit weird how it's all working out, that we can go to someone's barbecue but we can't go for a haircut one-on-one. It all just seems odd, but that's for another political podcast that we might do. So with obviously it starts, Liverpool are probably going to win the league. We've picked us 3. We've got this now on video evidence. The whole internet's going to see it. Just in case we're wrong, let's just quickly go on to Bundesliga, because the big game obviously this week was Dortmund Bayern. We all watched the game. We were all texting. You know, we're a group of mates, and we're all texting. The goal. Let's just go to the goal first, right? Because the game was a humdinger. The game was again would have been great if there'd have been a crowd there. Joshua Kimmich's goal, fantastic footballer, by the way. He's brilliant. And it was a good goal, but was it a goalkeeper mistake? I think it was. If you got a hand to it for me.
Yeah, I think
if you get a hand to it, you save it.
Yeah, that's everyone's perception of goalkeeping. And I think if you get a hand to any shot or a good hand, you think you probably should have saved it. When I first watched it, I did think actually a really really good goal. It was sort of Rooney-esque, wasn't it? You know, Rooney against Portsmouth.
It was a clever goal. It was a really clever because he was so tight. He had like 4 men around him, and he just you could see he had a little look, and he did the dink. And if it goes over the keeper without him touching it, you'd say brilliant. Yeah, but he did.
Actually, on reflection, probably should have saved it. Great imagination, fantastic imagination. Yeah. I mean, you know, when you shape up for a shot like that, you're thinking, right, as a keeper, you're stepping on Deemi, you're a keeper. You know, you'll step forward, won't you, to get to the shot? But he just sort of stepped forward too much, didn't he?
You liked the goal though, Deemi, didn't you? You liked it.
I did not know. I thought people, the internet were blowing up about it, and I looked at it and I thought, they've seen something different to me. I thought, don't get me wrong, it's a great effort in a tight space, like you said. It's good. It's a good audacious attempt, but it's gone in. But the keeper should save it, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I agree. But
save it.
For the game itself, it was it's what you'd want, wasn't it? It's what you'd want. He had 2 clearances off the line. It was fast paced.
Yeah. I mean, with the no fans thing. Has that impacted Dortmund because their fans are great, are they? I mean, and a big game like that way to keep them in title race for it. That's probably gone against them, hasn't it?
You could tell Bayern looked more pumped yesterday, probably because of the lack of the crowd. It never really felt like an away game for them. You know, they just looked really comfortable. Muller were fantastic.
He's such a good pro, him. He's a dream.
He's one of those players who you'd want in Premier League, isn't he? Just, you know, just see how he competes.
I can't believe he's still kicking about.
I know.
At that level.
But he's not that old, really. In the grand scheme of things.
He just seems to be going on forever, doesn't he?
Didn't he win everything by the time he was 26? I mean,
like that, yeah. But
it's unbelievable. I want to touch on Alphonso Davies again, though.
Oh.
That did you see the tackle he made on Erling Haaland? He ran back 50 yards, and we know that Haaland can shift, and he just got his foot, took it off him, said thank you very much, and they were off again. I mean, that pace is frightening.
Yeah, he is. He's gone the opposite way of Gareth Bale, hasn't he? He's I think he were a left winger to start with, wasn't he? And then he's converted into a left back. But he just looks, you know, if he misses out on a tackle, he can quickly redeem himself. You know, because he's so rapid, and even attacking wise, I mean, he probably does like a you know, maybe a decent quality ball in, but I mean, he makes up for that in his pace. You know, if you're 1-on-1 with him, you know, he's getting past you.
I mean, I think you've got to play good football around him because he does have that Kyle Walker effect that if he does get back, if he does lose it, he has the ability to get back, doesn't he?
To recover, yeah.
He's something else. And I'm going to be interested to see, because I actually said I didn't realise he'd started off as a striker because I thought he might end up going forward. And I said on the last podcast he might end up like a Gareth Bale, but then we found out.
How have no Premier League clubs jumped on him though? I mean, before he went to Bayern, you know, what were at Vancouver, were he, or somewhere in Canada, playing in MLS? I think they got him for about 10-12 million. Why have no English clubs jumped on that? I mean, that scouting system over there must be unbelievable.
He's got to be 100 million already, just because of the position he's in, how effective that position, you know, is at the minute in world football. I mean, it's all about wingers and getting back and defending. You know, we talked about Trent and Andy Robertson, and them kind of fullbacks are just at the minute. Who wanted to grow up and who wants to grow up and be a Gary Neville? But now you want to grow up and be a Davis, or you want to be Trent, because they're so inclusive in the team, aren't they? But yeah, the game itself was an excellent game. It was fast paced. I think Bayern now are we going to say that they're going to win the league? 7 points clear.
Title done now.
I agree. I think
definitely.
Just going on, one of our teams, we all love watching RB Leipzig, right? They've been phenomenal, but they do have an absolute stinker in them now and again, and they play some unbelievable football. And I watched the goals the other night, and I watched the extended highlights. It was about 20 minutes, you know. And honestly, they were a shadow. The game that they played the other day, that they won 5-0, they were like the Arsenal of 2004. This time, they were a bit of the Arsenal, but then like Norwich at the back, they were awful.
Yeah, I mean, don't take that away from Hertha Berlin. They've been playing well, haven't they, over the last couple of games? They've had a bit of a resurgence under their new manager. They're a bit of a a bit of an iffy team, aren't they? Leipzig won.
Well, they got a bit of help because it was an awful goalkeeper mistake. He threw it in his net. It was a really poor shot.
And then he just sort of let go of it and threw it in back of his net.
I don't really understand what. Yeah, I don't really understand what he was doing there. But Leipzig are a bit of a funny team. I think individually they've got some good players. I think they're a bit of a club because didn't Liverpool get Keita from there, didn't they? I think they seem to be that kind of club that feels a bit Spursy.
A bit Spursy, like in the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, like individually you think they've got some good players there, but then they're just backed by...
Will they win out?
Yeah, like, are they going to challenge Dortmund? Are they going to challenge Bayern and whatnot? A bit like when Bayer Leverkusen came through, they were like, but then they did challenge, and I think Leverkusen did win it, and then they got to the Champions League final. For me, Leipzig, they really need to push on and really challenge in that top three, because when we've come back, you've looked at it and you've thought, the 10, 12 points behind. They haven't really pushed them that close, really.
Has the perception of in Germany changed yet with fans? Because they were hated, weren't they? I know they were hated.
Oh, Leipzig, they hate Leipzig.
Yeah, they're still hated.
I still don't think it's not well, is it?
I think that will always be the case with Leipzig. I think it'd be the same over here, though, wouldn't it? It's similar with MK Dons. MK Dons aren't a very liked football club, are they, over here? Because they were made up only. But then again, I mean, like every other football club in England, they were made up at some point. It's just that they were made up recently, and I don't think the Germans like the fact that Red Bull are behind it all.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a business rather than a football club. Yeah,
at least they stayed in Leipzig though,
rather
from
than
the team that took over. Where Wimbledon went to Milton Keynes, didn't they?
I mean, you could get onto that about the politics and money of football, but I mean, at the end of the day, like you say, can you really blame it? It was a money opportunity. It's a team to, the whole MK nonsense. But like you said, Jamie, the Lisa stayed there, but I think it's the money, it's the sponsorship in it. I think that, and actually, I think sometimes it's a bit of envious and a bit of jealousy.
Maybe a little bit.
There were big rumours at one point that Leeds were going to be Red Bull, wasn't it? I mean, it were big rumours. I mean, as Leeds fans, I'd have took it all day long, for money-wise, but obviously everybody else in England, they wouldn't have liked it, would they? So,
well, we're going to talk about like the whole Newcastle thing on another podcast. When it all official goes through, we're going to have a little bit of chat about the money in clubs and stuff like that, and probably like since the Abramovich days when he came in with his money. But going back to Bundesliga, Hoffenheim safe. They won 3-1 at Cologne.
Fantastic win that, by the way. Christoph Baumgartner, what a player. Yeah,
you like him, don't you?
Yeah, both goals he took really well. The assist that he did, which was a little back flick, fantastic. 20-year-old Austrian, not played for Austria's national team yet, fantastic. You were brilliant.
The assist was good. The assist was very...
little back flick, fantastic.
Yeah, the assist was brilliant.
It was good because nobody expected it. He could have played through the two that were in through, and he played it behind. It was fantastic.
I mean, Cologne have always been a yo-yo team. They are near the bottom, but they are only maybe a couple of wins and a couple of draws to kind of pull themselves out of it. Not pull themselves out of it, to kind of really be safe. They're not actually in the relegation zone at the minute. Werder Bremen, for my surprise packaging, that are down there. I think Hoffenheim definitely deserved the win. They were fantastic. Dusseldorf again. Schalke again lost. Schalke again.
It's the David Wagner effect. Absolutely awful.
But they were awful again.
They were terrible.
They were awful.
We touched on it the other day, didn't we? The defending at Schalke were absolutely awful. It's funny though, the other day we criticised John Joe Kenny. We said he were awful. Last night he made a life-saving goal line clearance. And they were unbelievable.
I know.
But just in general, they were poor. Really poor. They're on a slippery slide though, mate. Again, if they'd have had fans in the stadium, I think they could have pushed on a little bit, but
they get 60,000, don't they?
Yeah.
What is the effect of this no crowd thing, boys? Because it does. I think we've all realised just how good the fans are. We've all watched the old international game, been behind closed doors, but then there's actually even been a selection maybe of 200-300 fans. We're not even in that zone at the minute.
No.
How much do you think, Deemi? You imagine Leeds with no fans. You know what Ellen Road's like.
Yeah, I mean, for Leeds, definitely, because our crowd is a 12th man, like they say. I think, in my honest opinion, apart from a handful of clubs, I think Bundesliga fans are missed more than what Premier League fans will be missed. All barring a handful of clubs. Yeah, because I do think they're just passionate. They're passionate. They fill massive crowds. Even some teams that you won't think of compared to Premier League. So
And do you know why though, Deemi? Why I think that is? Because the
Cheap.
looks after. Yeah, the looks after.
Yeah, exactly right. Because it's proper fans. There's no prawn sandwich brigade. There's corporate, all this. It's proper fans. It's who can afford to go. Working class
and as
people.
well, I had to remember the corporate stuff that is there as well. When you pay a ticket, it goes into a like they even put it into charities. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, it's great. It's great stuff.
It's the way to do it.
So I mean, that's kind of like the general thing of the midweek games of Bundesliga. I mean, they're coming thick and fast, which is great. And obviously, we've got 3 weeks in the Premier League's back. On Premier League and stuff like that, we haven't heard from the Championship. But do we think that our Championship going to be played? Do we think is it?
Well, they've done, I think, just over 1,000 tests. I've heard, and there's 3 positives, if I'm not wrong. Two of them being
Hull, wasn't it Hull?
I think two of them have been at Fulham. I think they've done a more updated one. They had a certain amount of tests with 6 positives, I think, last week, and then in the last couple of days, I've seen they've done just over 1,000 tests with 3 positives. I'm sure that's what I saw.
Yeah.
And apparently 2 of them are at Fulham, and one of them at another club, which I didn't see, to be honest with you. So I think out of 1,000 tests to get 3 positives, with the Premier League then going ahead, I think it only points one way, really.
Fair play.
Which I hope so.
I think we'll hear something maybe within the next 24, 48 hours. I think now on the Championship. So we'll come on to that, but we're going to finish off, seeing as it's Bundesliga review show / Premier League return show. We're going to go with Scott, and he's got our Wikipedia game because we haven't had it with all 3 of us. We haven't got obviously BB on today with us. He's still really with his head down in Bundesliga games. So Scott, you have got 5 wiki players.
5 wiki players. So boys, we've got 3 Germans, 2 non-Germans just who have played in the Premier League and Germany at some point during their career.
Right. Okay then.
Ready?
Right.
So your first
Go
one.
on then.
The first one started his career at Schalke in 1999. He was signed by Arsenal in 2000. 0 appearances. He went on loan to Wimbledon in 2003. 10 appearances, just a 1 goal. Then Fulham bought him 2004 to 2009. 137 appearances, 4 goals.
Oh,
Paul Marty?
No,
it's not Paul Marty, is it? No.
German.
It's Portuguese. It's German.
Oh, we're doing Germans, aren't we? Yeah. Idiots.
Then he went on loan to Ipswich Town in 2008 and 9 for a season. 22 games, no goals. He then went back to Germany for SC St. Pauli. 23 games, 2 goals. And he ended his career at 1860 Munich. 2012 to 2015, 51 games, 0 goals. Never played for Germany.
But he wasn't.
No, never played for Germany. He was a right back. The giveaway there is the Fulham, 2004 to 2009. Fulham right back.
And that was when they were in the pomp on it, Fulham, when they were doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Is that when they went to UEFA Cup and that, or was that after?
A bit after, wasn't it? Dempsey, that was Dempsey era, wasn't it?
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Tell you what,
German.
Right back.
Nope. The answer is Moritz Volz.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have got that, to be fair. I know you say it, but I wouldn't have got it. I wouldn't.
I'm with you, Scott. Yeah,
I could have given you 5 minutes and I wouldn't have got it.
Next one.
Carry on.
Started his career at Mainz, 2009 to 2011, so this is quite recent. 66 games, 20 goals. Then went to Bayer Leverkusen, 65 games, 18 goals. And then went to Chelsea, 2013 to 2015. 44 games, 11 goals.
Ballack.
Nope.
No.
And then went to Wolfsburg, 43 games, 10 goals. 43 games, 10 goals. Then went to Borussia Dortmund, 33 games, 3 goals. This is probably going to be a giveaway. Went to Fulham on loan in 2018 to 2019. 24 games, 6 goals. And then went on loan to Spartak Moscow, 13 games, 1 goal. So your giveaway there is Chelsea for 2 years, 2013 to 15.
I'm useless.
And then on loan to Fulham.
Right, striker.
Yeah, striker's last one, yeah.
Oh, Shirley.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next
I
one.
wouldn't have got that, even my head's all over the place today.
Next one.
I'm rusty.
Next one, we're going a bit far back here. Starting in the 1980s. Started his career at Lokomotiv Leipzig. Then he went to Chemie Leipzig, big rival obviously.
Ooh.
Then he went to Magdeburg. Then he went to Dynamo Dresden, 46 games, 7 goals. Then he went to Nuremberg, 28 games, no goals. And then went to Man City in 1994 to 1998, 152 games, 50 goals. Then went to Kaiserslautern, 28 games.
Rossler.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, the last two. These are non-German.
The non-German.
The non-German. But they played in Germany.
But they played in both, yeah.
Played in both.
They played, okay.
Right, so the first one started his career at Austria Vienna. So 84 games, 3 goals. Then he went to SV Salzburg, 18 games, 3 goals. Then he went to SK Brann, 32 games, 7 goals. Then went to Wigan Athletic, 2006-2010.
Oh, we've lost you, Scott. We've lost you, Scott.
After Brann. After Brann.
After Brann, 32 games, 7 goals. Then he went to Wigan Athletic, 145 games, 14 goals. Then he went to West Brom, 2010-2012, 62 games, 7 goals.
Nathan Ellington.
Then he went to Hamburg, 4 games, no goals.
Pogrovniak.
No.
He went to Hamburg.
Yeah. And then he went back to Wigan in 2013 on loan, 14 games, no goals. I'll give you 10 seconds.
What year were the first club, just so we know?
1999.
99.
He is now 40.
No.
Wigan 2006-2010.
And he's not German, he could be. Right.
He was a central defender / midfielder. The answer is Paul Scharner.
Oh, gosh.
And your
Great
last one,
player, actually.
Very good player. Your last one, just quickly. Started his career in 1999 at LA Galaxy. Then went to Chicago Fire, 98 games, 14 goals, 2000-2004. Then went to PSV, 2004-2007, 56 games, 10 goals. They then went on loan to Manchester City, 2006-2007, 18 games, 3 goals. They then went to Rangers, 2007-2010, 30 games.
Claudio Reyna?
No. 30 games, 4 goals. Then he went to Hanover, 4 games, no goals. Then he went to Puebla, 92 games, 12 goals. And then he ended his career at Houston Dynamo, 2014-2019, 124 games, 3 goals. Left winger,
PSV
left wing back, played for USA. Got 10 seconds.
It's a black lad, isn't it? The what's he called? Oh.
The answer is DeMarcus Beasley.
DeMarcus Beasley. Oh my word! It was when you said the Scotland thing, and I was like, I definitely remember.
They are some random players, them today.
Wow, fair play. Good. You know what? He wasn't a bad player. He wasn't a bad player at all, actually. To be fair to him, but he did the rounds. Anyway, boys, listen, it's been a good show. Listen, we'll be back with probably another Bundesliga review / news of the Premier League / Championship.
Yep.
Maybe Deemi, I think you might be doing the next Wikipedia. So try not to. Try to.
I'll write them down this time so I don't have to lose video connection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But boys, listen. Speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Get following Flatback 4 Pod. Yes, we're now on iTunes as well, so get following. We've got some guest announcement as well coming up very soon. But for now, peace out. See you later, boys.
See you later.
Cheers. Thank you.